Hello, it's me, Donald. I'm not sure if a lot of you guys know my name, but today I am going to talk about Gemini. And I'm really going to let you guys know the Gemini way. So, yeah. Geminis are about variety, movement, quick movement, being at like two places at once. The opposite sign of Sagittarius is about travel, but Gemini is about travel in the community because they can be kind of at two places at once. They really can, in the same day, in the same 10 minutes. They can go down the road, do their errands. Geminis they have a reputation for being schizophrenic and two-faced or more than one person, but the true symbolism of Gemini is versatility, learning to be adaptable, and fractals. So taking a huge concept and forever finding the small pieces of that huge concept. They can't really see the big picture at once, so they have to see small pieces, and they're very able to look at every kind of option available at once and make a decision. They're not very simple-minded or single-minded, but they are superficial and shallow. And that can have a really bad connotation to it, and you think Geminis are just about looks or they're just about something, but the truth is Geminis don't even know what they want. They have to have options given to them, and they're more into those options that are presented. They're not really, they're kind of more into the idea of something. It's all about not having they don't like commitment. It's not like but part of them is like, yes, I want this commitment. I made a decision on what I want. I'm going to stick to this. Okay, that's fine. But then, they see reality. They see everything that could happen. They see the bad and the good. They see every option. They see way too much. And it's like, no, I don't want that, because they feel powerless kind of in that way. They do see that life is very short. They want to make the most of it. They want to have that freedom feeling that all air signs want. But it's more mental freedom. Like, air signs need to have that available to them all the time. So Gemini is in between the two signs that are moon focused. In that way, the moon, which is mental state and emotions, the moon is kind of like the moment when your mental state goes into emotions. Gemini doesn't go into emotions. They flow in between the mental state before reaching that point where they have an outburst. Like, Geminis live for the moments where they aren't emotional, where they can stay within that mind area. And to do that, they have to flip from one thing to another. Otherwise, they get too deep into something, and then they start to have to think about how they feel. They don't like that. And they also are another word to describe Gemini energies is mundane. They are more interested in their immediate surroundings and the physical things of it. It's not very slow and steady like Taurus. Okay, let's buy groceries. Okay, this is what I like. I don't like that. No. Tauruses kind of have a good balance. They're very self-contained, but then you go to Gemini after Taurus, and it's more about daily errands. They might make lists. It's not like Virgo making lists, having to organize the chaos around them. Geminis kind of live within the chaos. They'll make a list and then think about doing it. It's, just all these mental activities. Geminis rule over elementary school. So they rule over languages. It's all things in the mental area that humans have created. Whereas the opposite sign, Sagittarius, is everything that you can think of that doesn't have an answer. Now, Geminis do have answers. They'll know trivia. They, like a strong Gemini, I have a Gemini moon, and moon is your more head state and where your head's at. So I am very Gemini-like, and Gemini's in my 4th house. It's ingrained in my family. Growing up, in my home life, I felt good there because my moon was there. At home, I was able to express myself. I talk a lot. If I'm relaxed and alone and at home or with family that I feel comfortable with, I'll talk and talk. I'll tell you facts about everything. A Gemini sun loves facts. Gemini suns are here to learn, because your sun is kind of like what you're developing and what you're learning to shine. They're here to learn about those small facts. They're learning about languages. They're learning about their environment. Gemini is like a toddler, just learning how to speak and loving it and being like, wow, I have power over my throat chakra, my mouth. I can talk, but I'm going to talk about the things that I learn about. Oh, like colors. A Gemini and a Libra would talk about colors a lot. Gemini would say, oh, that's red, that's that. Libra would go, yes, but that red goes well with that, and match it up. Geminis don't like to connect everything. They keep everything kind of separate in their heads. They compartmentalize. It's all really quick. Like, they're able to access information quickly. They don't know how they access it. It's just very mental. They rule the arms. So Geminis like to be very useful in that way. They will talk with their arms, and they'll walk around and flip from one thing to another. They'll tell you if they really get to, if you really get to know them. They don't like to open up, but Geminis are actually very secretive. It's not something that you think, because, they're superficial, but they know that they have their emotions. They don't want to talk about it, but they know they'll have to eventually if they have a friend, and their friends mean the world to them. Gemini is the 2 signs before Leo, which means it's naturally in the 11th house. Geminis they know a lot about friendship. They're there for their friends. They have friends over at their house. They'll go to their friend's house. They'll just do a lot of superficial things. They don't like to get too deep about it. But then once you get to know their secretive side, their twin side, their darker side that they hide, they'll slowly let you know, cautiously, that they have a more intense side, deeper emotions than they're willing to usually show. They are very useful with day-to-day tasks, so they want to be there for you, but they'll let you know that if they promise to do something for you, they don't want to make promises. They learn that really early on in life. It's something that they really have to learn, that making a promise to them, they have to realize, okay, I have to stick to this. It's going to be hard for me because of how scattered and everything they want their lives to be. So they'll tell you, I honestly forgot about that. Like, if you have a true Gemini friend that's opened up to you, they'll be like, I'm so sorry, I forgot. Like, earlier today, we got so excited about wanting to do this together, and then I just I was tired at the end of the day. I didn't want to have to tell you. That's like an emotional thing. Why do I have to tell you I'm tired? I'll just, So, flaky would be another word to describe them. They're like, it's kind of less flaky than the Libra, but, like, I like to talk to Geminis. They're upfront. They'll tell you. They're all about verbal. So, like, it's not subtle with them. It's not like with a Cancer or Scorpio or even Pisces having to guess what they're thinking because, they're feeling that way. And they think that, like, water signs think that you can guess what they're thinking because they just know things. Geminis won't know anything. You have a Gemini, you walk into a room, and, everyone else may see someone and know that they're about to cry their eyes out. Gemini's like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? Oh, let's go. And this other person's like, I'm upset. Like, come on, don't you see, like, the subtleties and how I'm acting? But Geminis don't really get that. Tell them. You have to be really honest with them. You might have to, like, tell them a huge story. They love long stories. It's like a long dialogue that you can talk back and forth with. And then the thing about Geminis is the fact that once they start talking about themselves, they'll go on and on and on and on, and they don't understand why you'd be so annoyed by them going on and on. Because they think that it's what you're supposed to do. You're having a conversation. They're going to add every amount of detail, which Earth signs would think is insignificant detail. You know, it's not practical. Why are you adding in the fact that you went to the store, you dropped a penny on the floor, you know, and you're adding all this, like, it's like making a Gemini sound like they're so egocentric and they're like, oh, listen to me, my life is so amazing. But, you know, it's like a creative feeling. It's similar to the Leo. It's like this creative, oh, okay, like, let's get into this. I want to say all these details, and, you know, it's a good way to pass the time for me to just keep talking and talking, and, you know, they really don't want you to interrupt them. Just, like, let them talk. They don't understand why they need it. It's like an emotional need, probably. It's very deep within them. They don't need to have to explain to you that. So, you know, air signs would understand that. It's just very superficial and fun. It's flowy. It's like how the air is. It's unpredictable, and Geminis will be that way. Geminis also are ruled by Mercury. It's like the outer expression of Mercury, the more outgoing, because they are air and not Virgo, and Virgo is more introverted and practical, and Gemini is way more extroverted. The Geminis I know are very extroverted, and it's fun to be around that for good times mostly. But then when you get to the serious part, you're going to start to realize there's like a lot of cracks in how Geminis deal with serious issues. So it's really good to try to give them advice, but don't be too deep with them, because they don't want to talk about all that. So they need the advice. And Gemini is mutable. So, like I talked about, Aries was cardinal. They like to start things and initiate things. Taurus is fixed, and Gemini is mutable. So, like, they'll go along with a lot of the fun stuff that you have planned, or they'll look up to exciting people in their group. You know, they need to kind of have that balance. They need that Sagittarius spontaneity balance. They can't really initiate much. They need to have fun, but by themselves, Geminis really falter. They don't do well. It's not that they need a deep connection with anyone. It's they need companionship. They won't do well without a fire sign nearby to initiate something with them. They may get really pissed off at the fire sign and vice versa, because fire sign's so emotional and the Gemini doesn't get it. So it has to be really fun and light, and the Geminis learn that on early in life, that they have to keep it light to get on and deal with their life. It has to be light and flighty all the time. So yeah, that's it, and I hope to be posting my Cancer video soon. And I also think this would be a good time for me to explain that I'm hoping to advance and do more work on my YouTube channel. My Gemini moon itself is kind of flighty, and it's really hard for me to sit down and focus, so after I buy a camera and my Capricorn hard-working side and my career-drivenness, we'll be able to make a better YouTube channel for all my viewers and get things more organized and help people. Okay, thanks. Bye.